Good morning, students. I hope that you all must have completed this table. When you were completing this table, did you notice that the organisms in these two columns are very different from each other? The organisms are different. The surroundings in which these animals live, that is also different. Okay, for example, if you take sea, the animals that live in sea like shark, whale, octopus, dolphins, all these animals, or the plants like corals, algae, they all are surrounded by saline water. What is saline water? Saline water means salty water. You all know that sea water is saline in nature. Okay, so and how do these animals breathe? These animals which live in the sea, they breathe by the air which is dissolved in water. Okay, water contains little amount of oxygen dissolved in it. So the air which is dissolved in water, that is used by these sea animals for breathing. Now, if you take the desert animals, in desert animals, there is very little water available. Okay, it is very hot during the daytime and extremely cold at the night time. Okay, and how do the animals breathe? These animals which live in the desert, they breathe the air from the surroundings. Okay, the air which is present in the surroundings. Okay, so now you often see that these animals living in these two areas are very different from each other. Okay, now we will compare two animals from both the areas. Okay, we will take camel from the desert and the fish from the sea. Now you all must have seen a camel. Okay, now camel, have you noticed the structure of the camel? The body of the camel. See children, any organisms, they can live in a particular area because they have adapted themselves. Okay, they have got certain body structures which help them to survive in the conditions. Okay, now we will see what are these body structures. Okay, what are the special body structures of a camel? The first body structure of camel is that camels have long legs. You all must have noticed the legs of the camel. They are very long. Okay, and these legs, long legs, keep their bodies away from the heat of the sun. Okay, then the second is that they excrete small amount of urine. Since there is hardly any water in the desert, what happened? These animals, they do not get much water to drink, so they excrete small amount of urine. Then the third point is their dung is very dry and they do not sweat like human beings. You all know that we all sweat, we all drink so much of water, so we sweat. But since the camels, they do not get much water, they do not sweat, their dung is dry. Okay, and the camels lose very little water from the bodies. Okay, so they can live for many days without water, they do not perspire a lot. So these are the special features of camel which makes them possible to survive in the desert. Okay, in the same way, if we look at the fish, the fishes have got totally different structures. Okay, and what are the total different structures? You all must have seen that the fishes, they have got streamlined shape. Okay, the streamlined shape. Now the streamlined shape of the of the fish helps them to swim in water. Okay, what do you mean by streamlined shape? The streamlined shape means a shape which is tapering from both the sides. Okay, tapering from both the sides means pointed. Just I am drawing a rough diagram of the fish. These are the scales. Okay, these are the fins. Okay, and you must have seen that it is like this. So streamlined body means, streamlined means the one which is pointed. Okay, tapering from both the sides. Tapering means which is pointed from both the sides. See, it is pointed from the front also, and it is pointed from the back also. So this kind of body structure is called as streamline. So this streamline body helps the fish to swim very easily in the water. Okay. Secondly, they have got slippery scales on the bodies. Have you children ever tried to hold a fish in your hands? If those children who must have held the fish in their hands or try to hold them, you must have noticed that the scales are very slippery. You won't be able to easily hold the fish. Okay. So what does these scales protect the fish, and they also help in the movement in the water. Okay. And then the fishes have flat fins and tails that keep their body to change the direction. You all have noticed the fins and the tails. Okay. The fins and the tails, they are flat. Okay. They are flat, and which helps them to swim very easily in the water. And the last point, you all know that all the fish, they have got gills for breathing. Okay. The gills helps the fish to breathe in water. Other organisms, they do not have gills. So gills are special organs which helps the fish to breathe in the water. Okay. So now you see children, both these, okay, you have seen so many characteristics of both fish and the camels. Okay. So these features, okay, these specific features, the presence of specific features or certain habits which enable a plant or an animal to live in its surrounding is called as adaptation. Okay, that is called as adaptation. That means the fish and the camels, they have got special features. Just now we discussed about those special features. Okay, so these special features which enable them to live in a particular surrounding is called as adaptation. Okay, so this is called as adaptation. So different animals are adapted differently to the surroundings. Okay, just now we have studied about camel and fish. In this chapter we will study about more adaptations. Okay, how different animals have adapted themselves to the different surroundings. And the surroundings where organisms live, a particular surrounding where an organism live is called the habitat. Okay, the place where the particular organism live is called the habitat. So the organisms depend for their food, water, air, shelter and other needs on their habitat. Okay, it is the habitat or the surrounding where the organism is living. From there only they get food, water, air and shelter. So all the organisms depend on all these things on their habitat only. Okay, so a habitat means a dwelling place or a home. Okay, so what is the meaning of habitat? A place, a dwelling place or a place where a particular organism lives. Okay, I hope children that this much is clear to all of you. Please read the please read this much part which I have taught you, and learn the features of both the camel as well as the fish. Clear children? Thank you.